I'm torn. Do I continue to see this man and explore where our relationship can go? Or do I just end things now, and save myself a disappointment and a potential heartache? And I'm struggling to find balance between my own happiness and the expectations and beliefs of my family. Did you have an open communication about your faith and its importance with this man? The sooner you know what his stance is, the less hurt you'll be, right? You don't want to wait 1 year before you start telling him, by the way, I believe in God. It doesn't work like that. If this man's going to accept you for who you are, he needs to take you with everything that comes with you, and that's including your faith, right? Dear Patty, I find myself in a huge dilemma, and I'm really hoping you can offer some advice. I recently started seeing someone who is so perfect for me. You can't even begin to imagine. He checks all the boxes. And I've been waiting forever to meet someone half decent, and he way exceeds everything that I could have expected. We've been on a few dates, and I really, really like him. He's nice and he's thoughtful and generous, and we have so much in common. There's just one little issue that I can't get past. We have different beliefs when it comes to our faith. I come from a family with strong religious roots, and faith plays a significant role in our lives. I was brought up into it. This is all I know. But my new man I'm dating, on the other hand, doesn't share this aspect of my life. He doesn't get the concept of praying and fasting, and he just doesn't get it. In fact, he doesn't believe in any religion at all. He's more of a logical, cerebral type, and the concept of a higher power or a God doesn't make any sense to him whatsoever. This difference is causing a lot of internal conflict in me. On one hand, I really like him, and I feel like we could have something so special together. He might be the man I've been waiting for my entire life. But on the other, I'm very aware of how important my family's beliefs are to them. And my parents have already experienced the heartache of another sibling marrying outside of our faith. And I know that that's exactly what's going to happen if I pursue this relationship. And I don't want to put them through this again, Patty. I'm torn. Do I continue to see this man and explore where our relationship can go? Or do I just end things now, and save myself a disappointment and a potential heartache, both for myself and for my parents? We're in two completely different worlds, and I'm struggling to find balance between my own happiness and the expectations and beliefs of my family. Any guidance or perspective you could offer would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for listening, Patty. Hello. Let's call you Ava. Welcome to the Toronto Not Toronto show. As I was reading your letter, I could so connect with this. As a woman of faith myself, I struggled for many years when I was single, and I was just wondering, where is this man that God has planned for me? My custom-made man. And then eventually I would meet a man. Either he didn't share my faith, or he just didn't cut it for whatever reason. And then I would turn to God and say, why, God, why? What is this? But I digress. I feel like I have a few words. In fact, I feel like I have good 5, let's make it 7 tips I can share with you. Hopefully one of them or a few of them will be able to help you deal with this dilemma that you're in. So I'm just going to summarize what I'm understanding of your situation. You're at a crossroad right now. So you can either turn left or you can go right. Left is you're going to give this man a chance and get to know him and see if you guys can explore a relationship together. Or right is you're going to make your parents happy and not give this man a chance because he just does not share your faith and your beliefs. Okay, I think this is what you're pretty much saying here. So let's jump right in. Number 1, Ava. Ava, please. Take your time to know this guy, right? Take it easy. You just met. It sounds like you've been on a few dates. Okay, yes, granted, he sounds fantastic, but you just met him. You have to take the time to get to know the individual. Because if you guys are not compatible, this solves all of your problems. The faith becomes completely irrelevant. If he's not compatible with you, it's not going to work out anyhow. You dodge the bullet, suivant, next, right? I find that us women, we tend to project ourselves into the future way too quickly. Okay, I call it making up a movie in my head. So we start visualizing, oh, where are we going to live? He lives in this neighborhood. That's very far. We're going to live at my place or his place. We need to get a new house. Are we going to have children? How many children? How many girls? How many boys? Are we going to get a dog? Like, are we going to have a destination wedding or a local wedding? Our brain just goes with all those ideas. And we just met this guy. It was either just coffee or just a few dates. So it's like, whoa, take it easy. And I call this dating phase an assessment period. When you get to know the guy and you try to see if you're compatible. And when you have an interview, you're trying to find out if you're compatible with the employer. You don't want to go start having a job where everything's unhealthy and it's a toxic environment, nobody's happy. There's like labor relation issues. You're not going to put yourself in that place for a few months or a few years for a job. So why would you want to put yourself in the wrong relationship that will last a lifetime, right? That does not make any sense. Take your time. And just between you and I suspect you probably know people like that too, who are sharing the exact same faith and they're quite frankly miserable. They cannot stand each other. Okay, so spirituality in itself is not enough to keep a couple together. You have to be compatible in general. I'm talking about fundamental values and the lifestyles and temperament, so many different things, right? So at least we think we can agree on that. Number two, I'd like to invite you to focus on the individual, not his religion or lack of religion in this case. Not that your concerns are not important because they really are, but I would like to recommend that you look at the individual as a whole. Does this man respect you? Does he want to elevate and cherish you? Is he thoughtful and caring? Does he have his affairs in order? Do you have a good connection and good chemistry? Does he smell good? It's important. I'm laughing right now, but it's, you need to like his smell. Do you have good communication? Does he have a bad temper? Is he emotionally available? Is he stable mentally? Is he available? Or is he hiding a wife somewhere or an ex-girlfriend? If it's not already done, Ava, I would strongly recommend that you take a piece of paper and you start writing down a list of specifically what it is that you want. What are your basic requirements? Let's just say that he ticks all the boxes and it's only the faith element that is not there. Then maybe you can work with something. But if on your list, you know that you need so many things and this guy doesn't meet any of it, well, then you also know that the faith is not even relevant at this point. He's just not cutting it, right? So please be very specific. I had to get very specific with what I wanted. I mean, I don't know what is that you believe it. Well, I guess you believe you're a woman of faith as well, but our friends at home, if you don't believe in God or in a higher power, you must believe in the law of attraction or manifestation, visualization. So you need to put it out there, what it is that you want. So when it shows up right in front of you, you can recognize it, right? Yes. Okay. Number three, did you have an open communication about your faith and its importance with this man? If you did not, because you were afraid that you would turn him off and he would run for the hills because you're too religious or too spiritual, please, I'd like to invite you to do it as soon as possible. The sooner you know what his stance is, the less hurt you'll be, right? You don't want to wait 1 year before you start telling him, by the way, I believe in God. It doesn't work like that. If this man's going to accept you for who you are, he needs to take you with everything that comes with you, and that's including your faith, right? So clear communication now can save you lots of pain later. Okay? So please do not dismiss that. And you know what? Maybe he's more open than you think. And he'll be willing to explore your faith. It's sort of a blessing in this case that he doesn't even have any faith because, if he had another faith, he would probably feel very strongly about that faith, right? So this one, he might be open. Okay, a man, I've learned over the years that a man who's into you will be prepared to jump through many, many hoops for his dream girl. I know people, well, male and female, who converted to another religion just to be with their loved one because, you know, this guy might think that you're worth everything. Okay, so don't assume that he would not be prepared to jump over to be with you. Okay, so when things get more serious, I think you're pretty much at this stage here. You're saying that yeah, I think you possibly already there, or you will be there soon. So consider talking about the future. Again, for the our other friends here, maybe not the first date there. Don't start like throwing all that at the first date, but you know, okay, once you start feeling like it's going somewhere, that he's into you and you into him, you know, and you see there's some possibility for more, then talk about the future and don't delay that step. Does he want to have children? That's a very important question to ask. If you both want to have children, you know, would he be okay with you raising them with your faith? Would he be willing to accompany you to your place of worship so that you wouldn't have to go alone? How about religious holidays? Would he be interested in participating? You don't know if you don't ask. And if there's a feast or a fast, maybe he would be happy to go along to support you. So, anyway, you need to be clear about your intentions and make sure that he's clear with them as well, so that when you'll really be together, if that's the case, he can properly defend your honor and your family with his inner circle if required. Not that I think it's any of anybody's business, but you know, sometimes people are a bit nosy. Nosy. I'm sure there's a nice way of saying this. Curious or interested, you know, they just want to know, what is this? So at least he'll be better prepared to properly defend you. Number 4. Okay, before I jump into number 4, I'm going to share a little story with you. There was this lady who practiced a certain faith. Her husband did not. Okay, and she would go to a place of worship weekly. Then they ended up having children, and then the children started going, and the husband was fine with that. He just stayed home and watched his football or whatever he did while the whole family went to church. That was their thing. She was fine. She was well connected. She had her family going there, friends and community. Everything was great. Until the day where she was diagnosed with cancer. And she was so devastated that all that she could do is hold on for dear life to her faith and her God. And she needed that. She needed God. That was the only thing that could help her get through this. It was so difficult for her. And she was accompanied by her husband was there for her. He was a loving husband, but he was not able to be there for her spiritually. The most she got out of him in terms of support was pat on the shoulder and hang in there, my dear, or this too shall pass. Okay. And it did not cut it for her. What she needed was a prayer warrior, someone to pray for her every day and do fast for her and uplift her, give her words of wisdom from the scriptures, something. And she didn't have that. And she felt so lonely that, of course, she had to turn to other sources. And luckily, she was cured and she went into remission and she's fully healed right now. But their marriage did not survive it because she realized that if ever she was faced with something else like this again, she could not deal with this man who is a good man, but who just could not uphold her. So in her case, she made the decision to just choose her faith and to just go all in. She preferred to rely on God than to rely on a man who was not equipped to support her spiritually. It was important for her. I'm going to turn that over to you, Eva. Imagine a day in a far, 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 far away, okay? Down the timeline of your life, God willing. If you or a loved one are faced with grief or illness, how will you feel about your partner not being able to support you and guide you spiritually? Because if you think you'll be fine and all it's fine, you'll have your friends, you have your family, your community, and you don't need that, it's fine then. Give it a chance. Okay? Keep on assessing, but give the relationship a chance. But if you know in your heart that it'll be too difficult and too lonely, then consider moving on. Number 5, Eva, you are the pilot of your plane, the captain of your ship. and the leader of your journey. So you want to live a happy life with no regrets, right? That's what we all want. And according to Bronnie Ware, in the book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, she was a palliative care nurse who interviewed a whole lot of patients on their deathbed. And 2 of those 5 main regrets were, I wish I had lived a life authentically to myself, not the life others wanted me to live. And the other one that came up often was, I wish I let myself be happier. So let that not be you, Ava. Again, whatever you decide. Number 6, seek guidance from a religious leader or spiritual leader. For guidance that align with your spiritual beliefs, I recommend that you seek help within your community, someone who you can trust and who can respect your confidentiality as well. They're usually very well equipped, these individuals, to offer counsel in line with your faith. Or if you're looking for a blend of spiritual and psychological support, a therapist who shares your religious views could really help your cause. They can provide a unique perspective that honors both your faith and emotional well-being. And number 7, the most important as far as I'm concerned, go to God or to your intuition, inner self, higher power. I don't know what our friends are calling it here. I know you're a woman of faith. Go to God, Ava. God reveals his will to us in so many ways when we take the time to listen, when we shut down the noise and the distraction and the TVs and Netflix and Crave and whatever, when we shut down the phone, social media, and we just really get with him in prayer, in meditation, in scriptures, in our dreams, he'll even reveal things to us. So shut down the noise and be ready to receive guidance and instructions from him. The answer is already within you, Ava. You just have to take the time to listen and give it time as well. So, to recap. Number 1, take your time and get to know the guy. 2, focus on the individual, not his religion or lack of religion. Number 3, communicate openly about your faith. Number 4, think about future tough times. Will you be okay without spiritual support next to you in your household? Number 5, live a life with no regrets. That is true, and be true to yourself. 6, seek guidance from a religious or a spiritual leader. And number 7, listen to God or your inner voice or intuition. My dear Ava, again, the choice is yours. This is your life, your journey. I'm sorry, I love to call it journey. I don't know what else to call it. Your life is an adventure, and you're there, and you're the one who gets to choose if you're going to turn left or you're going to turn right. So don't wait until it's too late to start living a happy life authentically to yourself, not the life that others want you to live. Do the work, assess, take the time. Do not rush, but whatever you do, make the choice that the future you will be grateful for when she takes her last breath. Life is too short for anything less, Ava. My friend, I hope this resonated with you. Thank you for hanging out with Ava and I for these few minutes. If it did resonate with you, leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you've been in that situation, while you were dating, or if you know someone, we want to hear about it. Don't be shy. Leave your comments. And if it's not already done, and if you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll know whenever I'll be releasing my next video. Until next time, keep healing, growing, and spreading that light of yours. All right, take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.